right, 'cause there will be a time. Oh, 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 oh. There will be a time. Oh, 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 oh. There will be a time.
Hey guys, and welcome on into another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends, free NHL picks. Just going to be me today on this really small slate. Um, NHL schedule makers. I have a couple rants. My first rant is about NHL schedule makers. Um, the fact that we're having 15 games tomorrow, but 2 games today. We had 12 games yesterday, 2 games before. Like on I think it's Monday, we have 1 game. Like what the heck is going on with NHL schedule makers? I get it when the NBA season, which hasn't started yet, is around. You can't spread out all the days evenly because a lot of NBA teams play in the same arenas as NHL teams. So I understand that, but at this time of the year, it makes zero sense how we're having 2 games one day and 15 games the next day. So that's my first rant. Second rant, yes, I'm about to blame the NHL referees. First, I'd like to say Minnesota did not lose yesterday's game because of the referees. Minnesota lost because they didn't play well enough. So I want to say that. However, if you watch that game, people ask me all the time, Terry, why do you always blame the NHL referees? And the answer is quite simple. Go on my Twitter, Let's Go Wild Picks. Watch the 2 videos that I posted from yesterday's game. The first play, the Wild were on the power play, so the referees did not want to call a second penalty. But the Wild player was interfered with, tripped, and high sticked all at once by 2 guys in the middle of the ice when the referees were standing there watching it, and it did not get called. That is 3 penalties in one. That's 3 different penalties in one play, and the referees did not blow their whistle. I don't care if the Wild are all already on the power play. That's absolutely ridiculous. On the goal that got called a good goal, uh, Pierre-Luc Dubois clearly kicked it in and clearly did not touch the puck with his stick. It was ruled that he touched the puck with his stick. You can clearly see that he did not. And if he had touched the puck with his stick, the puck would have moved direction. It wouldn't have continued going in the exact same direction it was going in. So those are my 2 rants. NHL schedule makers need to get their shit together, and NHL referees, I don't know what's going on, but it's not like this is a one-time occurrence. This is happening every single game pretty much. So those are my 2 rants that I want to start the show off with. But yeah, hello, Nick. How are you? Flames money line. Yes, we're gonna get to the games really soon, really soon. Schedule makers are clowns, pretty much. Like, there's not much else that can be said. This is bullshit. What is up with the schedule? I don't know. I don't know. Terry, I'm scared for the Wild. I'm not. I'm not. Because if you look at how the Wild started the season last year, there were some really bad games. The Wild were letting in goals like there's no tomorrow, and everyone was saying Flowers washed and the Wild are done. And then before you know it, they finished the season top 10 in goals against. So I am not worried. It's a few games. Yes, Robert is right. The Wild are fine. The Wild's issue is not the regular season, and it won't be the regular season. Their issue is come playoff time, and we all know that. So I'm not scared at all. I'm not hitting the panic button whatsoever. Clean your visor, ref. Yeah, I guess so. Either they're blind or I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. Maybe they're betting on games. I'm sorry, but it's there's no excuse for how. And I had someone comment on my Twitter video and said, well, maybe if he didn't fall down so easily, that they would have called a penalty. When you're tripped, high sticked, and interfered with all in the same play, how are you supposed to stand up? Of course, they're going to fall down on the ice. So I don't really have too much else to say. What's up, Terry? Smash like. Thank you, Richie. Thank you. I think your contacts needed to. Yeah, something. No boldly hurts. It does. It does. But all teams are going to have injuries, and you won't hear me using injuries as an excuse because all teams have to deal with injuries at times. The Wild are going to have to find it without Boldy. But the good thing is that Spurgeon's return is right around the corner, and Boldy will be back eventually as well. Rant time with Terry, basically. I had to start the show off with that because how else can I start off the show? I guess coaches are too nice to players these days. Some coaches, yeah, that's for sure. Wild will be fine. Give it a month, and they'll be the Western Conference Islanders again. I don't know. I like what I'm seeing from the offense from the Wild, but same thing happened last year. These are all things I yell at the refs at games. Well, somebody needs to because they're not hearing it. That's for sure. But this isn't a rant and complain show. This is a NHL betting show, and we are going to jump into the first game here, which is the Calgary Flames and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Calgary minus 138 to minus 145. Columbus plus 120 to plus 134. 6.5s right across the board here. I passed in Calgary yesterday against Buffalo, and I could go on a little rant about Buffalo as well, but I won't. But if you saw on Twitter, Buffalo's has like 60%. They're filling about 60% of the seats and have a horrible attendance so far early on in the year, which would be quite worrisome if I was a Sabres fan, because after missing the playoffs for 12 plus years, and now you can't even fill up 70% of the stadium of the arena. Sorry. Meanwhile, Minnesota is filling up 104%. So that's something to keep in mind. But looking at this game here, quite and simple for me, and I hate to do this on a 2-game slate, but I'm passing in this one. Calgary on the second night of a back-to-back. This is definitely a team that they should beat when you look at it skill-wise. But laying minus 145 with Calgary on the road, I'd have to go with in regulation. And that's where I would go in this game. They saved Markstrom for this game. But we've seen some weird things in the NHL lately where dogs have been, especially yesterday, dogs were cashing. So for me, I'm lowering my volume of bets until we get another week or so in, until there's some more numbers, because things haven't really been going the best for me lately. So definitely not forcing any plays. Would lean with Calgary in regulation, but no pulling the trigger on anything here for me. Jackets money line. I could see it. I could see it. Flames minus 1.5. Why not? Well, this is the second night of a back to back. I know it's early, so back to back shouldn't matter too much, but I don't know. It's a problem in a lot of places. No one can afford games. That's true. That's true. But uh, I don't know. It's worrisome with how low percentage compared to the other teams. Devin Levi and Zach Benson are day to day tomorrow for tomorrow's game with lower body injuries. Wow. So the Sabres are actually going to have to start someone else? I'm shocked. I'm shocked. They'll probably start Devin Levi even though he's hurt. That wouldn't shock me. That would not shock me. Calgary Columbus pass. Next game is better. Yeah, I have a pick in the next game, but you won't like it, Nick. Over 6.5, says Mikey. And yeah, I could see that. I could see some goals in this one. Columbus definitely not a team defensively that you can count on, and I could see some goals in this one. But we'll move on along to our second game here, which is between the New Jersey Devils and the New York Islanders. New Jersey minus 120 to minus 107. The Islanders plus 100 to minus 110. Sixes. across the board here in this game. And the first thing that I want to say about this game is the New Jersey Devils won 1-1 on the year. All three games have been 4-3 finals, which are kind of interesting to have the um, same final score in all three games. However, all three games were at home. And as we saw last year, this New Jersey Devils team is a much better team on the road. 28-9-4 last year on the road, a better record than what they had at home. Islanders won back-to-back games, 3-2 and 1-0, but they faced Arizona, whose offense has been pretty much inexistent until yesterday against the St. Louis Blues, which I cashed Arizona money line. I should have been on Arizona team total as well because for some reason they can always score 5 against the Blues. So I definitely should have saw that coming. But 3-2 win and a 1-0 win for the Islanders. The only thing I'm taking the Devils on the money line here. For me, they are just clearly the better team. Um, when you look at the offense, when you look at the speed and skill, the Devils should have no issue skating circles around the Islanders. Um, the only thing that would keep the Devils from losing or from winning this game is if Sorokin stands on his head. And the Devils have not played their best. That's 100% clear. They've not played their best hockey so far, but I like that they're going on the road. I like that they've had 3 days off since their last loss. I think we get a pissed off, fired up Devils team in this one. One thing I don't like as well, the Islanders have won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. So the Islanders have had success recently against the Devils, but looking at this game, 3 days off, heading on the road, pissed off Devils team. I think they come to play here tonight. And I think they win this game against the Islanders. I love that I'm getting minus 115. Now you can get minus 102, minus 1010, or minus 110 for this game. I love this game with the New Jersey Devils. We will go up. Dun, dun, dun. Terry, the Sabres. The Sabres. And you know what? I know there's some Sabres fans that watch the show. And I don't have anything against the Sabres. The Sabres made me money last year. I want to see the Sabres do well. I want to see them make the playoffs finally. But I've mentioned Devin Levi and how that's ridiculous that he's starting every game. And the Sabres can't even put butts in the seats with all that young talent they have. Alarm bells should be going off in Buffalo. Islanders are so shit. Not so far to start the year, but you have to look at the 2 games they played and the teams they faced. Calgary is just more physical than the Jackets. Yeah, for sure. Calgary is the better team in all areas than Columbus. Islanders can't score more than 3 goals in any game ever. That's pretty much true. It's pretty much true. This line says it all. Here we go. The New Jersey Devils, a team that people have winning the cup, only minus 110 against an Islanders team. Everyone has them missing the playoffs. New Jersey Devils are free money. Right, wrong. Isles money line is the play. First of all, Nick, not everybody has the Islanders missing the playoffs. And just because a team is going to miss the playoffs, which the Islanders will, and another team like the Devils will make the playoffs, teams can lose that are going to make the playoffs against non-playoff teams. I'm trying to think of an example right off the bat of my head, but I can't at this exact moment. But any team can win on any given night. So the fact that people have the Islanders missing the playoffs, I don't really think matters. I think it's priced this way because of how the teams have played so far this year. The Islanders have won both their games, not really convincingly at all. And the Devils have just not looked good. So I think that's why we're getting this price. But I think it's a mistake. Devils team total under 2.5 for those who have the stones to bet it. This is just a lean at the moment. Shocking, Nick. Shocking. People like taking Sorokin at home. I can totally understand that. This is NHL, Nick, not football. Only reasons Devils are minus 115 is because they started slow and Isles are 2-0. Thank you, Turnsy. Exactly what I just said. We are getting a very good price with this Devils team. And I think the 3 days off is really going to help them. Richie likes under. And hey, the Islanders are playing, so I can't talk you off taking an under. Islanders have built this roster specifically to slow down the Devils and Rangers offense. We'll see if they can do that today. I'll bet you Wendy's, Nick. No comment. No comment. You never pay the Wendy's though, which is completely true. Turnsy will say that he'll send you Wendy's and then he won't. So don't believe him. Should we hammer the Devils? I'm not saying hammer the Devils. I'm on Devils money line. I like the Devils tonight. But could the Islanders win this game? Of course they could. Of course they could. I'll pay you Wendy's in Ontario. Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is. Deal. Islanders are slow. Yes, and that's the thing. Islanders have the defense and the goaltending to stay in this game, but I don't see them skating with this Devils team. And if this Devils team comes to play tonight, like I believe they're going to, they should have no issues winning this game. Possible draw. I can see that. I can see that. Hearts. Thank you, Turnsy. But that is today's show. 15 game slate tomorrow. I know, so I really should be doing a show. But looking at the slate for tomorrow, it's not my favorite slate. So I'm not sure if there's going to be a show tomorrow. I might just take the weekend off. I know, horrible. How could I do such a thing? But if you want my premium plays, they're up at Picks and Parlays in the description below. So make sure to check them out there. And then a regular show will be back on Monday. I may do a quick show tomorrow. Have to see how things go, but most likely the show will be back on Monday. Dun, 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 dun. I believe in Terry's thinking here. This is low hanging fruit. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Brant, goal. He could. He could. Weekend Terry, angry face. I know, Richie. I know. But if anybody wants to know my plays, send me a message on Twitter and stuff, and I can send you them. Vodka Terry, no. I did Vodka Terry last weekend, and that's why there wasn't a Sunday show. But there was only 2 games as well. Shocking. NHL schedule maker. So no Vodka Terry this weekend, just relaxation this weekend. UFC tomorrow. I don't know anything about the UFC, so best of luck, Robert. I hope you make some money. But that is today's show. Best of luck to everybody. And if there's no show tomorrow, if I don't record one, then we'll see you on Monday. Thanks for watching, guys. Best of luck. Go Devils.